All right. Hey YouTube, I'm Lucky, and in today's video, we're gonna do a complete God rolled guide and analysis for the Steady Hand Iron Banner hand cannon. If you don't know, this is actually the most powerful and best in slot kinetic hand cannon that you can use. It's used so commonly in Trials of Osiris because it pairs with Felwinter's Lie, which Felwinter's Lie is currently the best shotgun. So if you want the best 120 RPM hand cannon shotgun combo, you definitely need to go out there into Iron Banner. It's out this week, or at least at the time I'm making this video. You got to get yourself a Steady Hand God roll, and if you get a roll at all, no matter what the roll is, keep it and try to upgrade with time. Of course, as always, I don't want anyone to delete the roll if they get a terrible roll. At least just keep it because it's the best you got. But you can always come back to this video here. This video will always be here, and you can see and analyze if the perks you have on it are good enough to call a God roll. So let's go ahead and start here from the top. We're going to go through the sights we have on it. Now, some weapons, they have barrels, and other weapons have sights. Sights are really nice, though. All of these sights give +5 aim assist. So if you're on console, if you're on controller, you're especially going to like the Steady Hand. It's going to come with pretty high aim assist. At the very top, we have the Steady Hand sight. This gives +0 range, +10 to handling, +5 aim assist, and +10 to stability. So I put this in the A tier category. This is very good, but you do want to get a little bit of range. When you're using these 120 RPM hand cannons, you're first looking for, range, reload, and handling. Those are kind of the three big ones that you want to look for. You can also look a little bit for stability and aim assist, but that kind of depends more on being on console or using a controller. So I put this in the A tier. This is definitely a solid sight for your Steady Hand. Next up, we got True Sight. This is just good all around. You get +3 range, +3 handling, +3 stability, and +5 aim assist. I put this in the S tier category at the highest tier because this is just good all around. It gives you +3 to everything and +5 to aim assist even, so that's nice. If you're on mouse and keyboard, +5 aim assist, I think depends on a little bit more bullet magnetism, but it's hard to tell. It's extremely hard to test these things. I do a lot of PvP tests all the time, and testing aim assist with mouse and keyboard is really tough because obviously aim assist works very simplistically with controller in console, but on mouse and keyboard there's no actual aim assist. So what does this value give to mouse and keyboard? It seems like it's bullet magnetism, but we don't know 100% for sure. Now next up we have Fast Draw, which I also put in the S tier category. +0 range, +15 handling, the highest handling boost, which is really nice for these hand cannons. When you're using these, they have some pretty poor handling and some pretty poor reload speed. So handling and reload are really, really good for these 120 RPMs. Never knock the handling or reload. That's why I often tell people to get a quick draw snapshot roll, maxes out that handling really easily. And then if you compare with that, something like Flared Magwell is really nice. In my opinion, I think that's like a God roll, regardless of what 120 RPM you're using. If you can get maximum handling and maximum reload, and then as much range on top of that, dude, you've got a great weapon there. And Fast Draw, it gives you a lot of handling and a little bit of stability as well. Next up, we have Hit Mark, which gives +5 range and +5 aim assist. I put that in the A tier, very solid sight. Next up, we have Crossfire, which is the second to worst one we have here. I put this in the B tier because this actually gives a -5 to handling and a -5 to stability. So this is going to feel especially brutal for controller. And then the last sight we have here, I put this all the way down in the C tier rating, and that's because this has a -10 stability and a -10 handling. And the reason why it has two negatives is because it gives you a +10 range, which is really good. The +10 range is nice, but at the trade-off is not worth it, in my opinion. You don't want to use that sight at all. Let's go on to the next column. We've got high caliber rounds, which does make people flinch more, but it's been tested with these 120 RPM hand cannons. It's almost undetectable how much that flinch affects people. It does give +5 range though, which is solid. So I'm gonna put this in the A tier category. We want that range boost. Light Mag I put in the S tier. Light Mag is great for 120s. It gives you +10 reload, which is what we're looking for, and +5 range. Very solid. Next up, we have Extended Mag, which gives a -20 to reload speed, which is so bad and so hard to use with these 120s. You will be sitting there reloading for like a full 2 or 3 seconds, and it's just painful. You can't use Extended Mag with these 120s. I'm sorry, it's just too poor of a perk. The +30 magazine is nice, but it's not worth the trade-off. Appended Mag gives +20 to your magazine and has no trade-off. I put this in the A tier category. Appended Mag is great. These hand cannons do have small magazines. Often they'll have like 8 in the mag. So Appended Mag will give you like 10 in the mag regularly, which is nice. And I definitely do say use Appended Mag if you can, if it's on your weapon. But overall, you definitely want to focus on the other stuff, the reload, the handling, and the range. So speaking of which, we've got Flared Magwell, which is in the S tier category, +15 reload and a little +5 to stability, which is nice. That's just kind of thrown in there. I love that. And Flared Magwell is just so good. Honestly, when I'm looking at a 120 RPM, I'm looking at these two powerful perks, if I'm being completely honest. but I'm really focusing on this magazine being flared magwell as well, because flared magwell is just so nice. There's no reload enhancement from the sights or from the barrels, but flared magwell will give you a really nice reload on that weapon. And obviously I'm using the reloader on the gauntlet as well, but these 120s just intrinsically come with such slow reload speed, it's painful. Moving on to the next one, we have ricochet rounds, which gives a +5 to range and a +10 to stability. If you're on controller, you're going to love this. The +10 stability is going to make it, operate very smooth. And then we have the second to last one is alloy magazine, which I've said many times before, don't use this perk. It only gives you fast reloads when your magazine's empty, and it is a fast reload, don't get me wrong. You don't want to be shooting out your magazine intentionally to get to the last bullet. You're going to often miss a shot, and just before you miss a shot, you're going to run out of bullets and you're going to lose gunfights. You don't want to use alloy magazine. I put that in the C tier category. And then armor piercing I put actually in the B tier category. It does give a +5 to range, typically a PvE perk, or magazine rather, but overall it does give +5 range, so I had to put that, give it a little B tier rating there. Now let's go on to the last two columns. These are the important ones, okay? These are the ones that really most meaningfully and impactfully affect the weapon, okay? Quick draw, of course, S tier. You pull the weapon out faster, you aim down sights faster. This is really important. Getting the first shot off means you flinch the person that's shooting you. If you're shooting a 120, they're shooting a 120 and you hit them first, they might flinch off of you, which is perfect. Then you hit your second shot, your third shot, and you just destroy them. You want to land the shot first. Quick draw will help you get that. You can also shotgun someone. Sometimes they're left one shot. You swap very quickly to your 120, you hit fire one bullet, and you finish them off at a really far range. It's great. Quick draw is so good. Do not laugh at quick draw. It's such a strong perk. Outlaw, I put in the A tier category. Myself personally, I don't really like Outlaw a whole lot. You're trying to, with 120s, hit someone 1 in the head and 2 to the body, or if they're higher resilience, you hit them 2 in the head, 1 in the body. So you're not always going for headshots with this weapon, unlike with the 140 RPMs where you need to hit 3 headshots. So on the 140 RPM hand cannons, I would say Outlaw is really good, for sure A tier, maybe S tier. But on these, not so much. It's not nearly as meaningful or as impactful. So I did put Outlaw in the A tier category because a lot of people love it. A lot of people say, Outlaw is awesome and all that. But in my opinion, I probably would put it closer to the B tier, but I did give it the A tier because the general consensus is that a lot of people like Outlaw. Next up, we have Slide Shot. This, dude, I'm telling you right now, Slide Shot is amazing and a lot of fun to use, especially if you're on Titan where you're, just slipping, sliding everywhere. Stasis Titan, right? Sliding partially reloads this weapon's magazine and temporarily boosts range and stability. So you get a nice range boost and it reloads the gun for you, so you don't have to run around reloading. Slide Shot is so much fun to use. I love Slide Shot on primary ammo weapons, and with 120s, it works really well, really nice. I wish I could get a Slide Shot roll of this. I would actually cry on stream if I got a roll like that. Then next up we have, and I put that in the S tier category for that reason. And then next up we have Killing Wind, which I put in the A tier category. Final blows increase mobility, weapon range, and handling for a short duration. It's definitely nice, but you have to get a kill, so it takes a little bit of a setup. And when you have perks like that require a little bit of a setup, that there's going to be a skill factor in there where if you have a very high skill tier, if you're really good at the game, you're going to be able to get those kills easily. You're going to be able to get a kill and then get the second kill with the Killing Wind or with Kill Clip or with whatever damage boost. But if you're not a really high skill tier, it's going to be hard because you're going to barely win that first gunfight, and then you're recovering. Your recovery is slowly coming up, and by the time you fully recover, Killing Wind is gone, Quick Draw or Swashbuckler is gone, Rampage, Kill Clip, all those perks are gone. So that's why I mention that often. Next up, we have Zen Moment, which I'm going to put in the B tier category because it's not nearly as good as Quick Draw Slide Shot. It is good though. You start hitting your shots, and then the stability goes up quite a bit. This is going to feel really nice on controller. But overall, this is definitely in the B tier category. If you're on mouse and keyboard, this is probably a C tier or D tier potentially. And then as well with moving target, I put this one in the B tier category. Feels good on controller, but again, the aim assist is not so necessary. And when you aim down sights, you actually increase your movement speed. When you increase your movement speed like that, it creates a sort of inconsistency that I don't like. I don't like my movement speed changing, so I don't really like moving target because I don't like that change in consistency when I'm strafing. So overall, I don't like moving target, but I did put it in the B tier category because some people on console and controller like it quite a bit. Next up, we have Swashbuckler. This weapon gains increased damage from melee kills and kills to this weapon. So if you get a kill, or if you get a melee kill rather, you can 2-tap anyone easily. But if you just get a regular kill, you'll get 1 stack of this and you'll be able to 2-tap people, but it does depend a little bit on their resilience. If they're like 10 resilience, I believe you're not gonna be able to 2-tap them, so keep that in mind. But it is very strong and can definitely 2-tap. This weapon doesn't come with Rampage, unlike a lot of the other 120 RPMs. They come with Rampage. This one doesn't have it. Doesn't have Rampage, doesn't have Kill Clip or multi-kill clip. So this is your only damage boosting perk, your true damage boosting perk on this weapon that's gonna allow you to 2-tap. But I put it in the S tier category for that reason, because you could 2-tap. Most people aren't running around with like 10 resilience. There are a few crackhead Titans out there, but overall, you're going to two-tap a lot of people. So a quick draw Swashbuckler roll is really good. Even Slide Shot Swashbuckler would be good. Any sort of combination of these, you know, S tier perks is going to be amazing. Quick draw Snapshot is the one I would really like. But any combination of those is going to feel really, really good. You're going to have a very strong weapon. Wellspring is not a damage boosting perk. I put it in the A tier category though, because getting your abilities back really fast and commonly from getting primary ammo kills is great. Like you're gonna constantly get your grenade back, your melee back, and abilities in this game are very, very strong. So Wellspring is an A tier perk, such a strong perk. So let's move on to the next one though. We got Mulligan. I put in the B tier category. If you miss a shot, it gives you a chance to return it back to the magazine, which is nice, but you don't really want to like rely on that, right? You don't want to like, well, if I miss, I miss, you know, I'll get the bullet back, right? You don't want to miss, because if you miss the shot, more than likely you're going to lose the gunfight. So keep that in mind. Mulligan can be nice because people do miss every now and again, and that off chance that you get an extra bullet that helps you win a gunfight, it is nice, but it's just going to be not very common, and it's going to build a bad habit. So I put it in the B tier category. It could easily be in the C tier category, but the reason why I put it in the B tier is because it does actually work. You know, it does actually, you do miss shots every now and again and you get a bullet back. And so I kind of like Mulligan for that factor, but overall, Mulligan is not the god roll, that's for sure. Next up, we have Snapshot, which is a part of the god roll. ADSing at maximum speed is very nice. Again, it'll allow you to land that first shot, makes your weapon feel so much more snappy, and it's just a great perk overall. It's always been a good perk for weapons, primary weapons, regardless of using hand cannon, auto rifle, pulse rifle, doesn't matter. Even if you're using a shotgun, aiming down sights is intrinsically really what you want to do when you're playing the game. So Snapshot for sure, always an S tier perk, no matter what weapon we're talking about here. Next up, we have Iron Grip, which I put all the way down in the C tier category. It massively improves weapon stability at the cost of reload speed. Now that increase to stability might feel really nice, whether you're mouse and keyboard or controller especially, but that reload speed, minus 40 reload speed, is painful. Trust me, I have a quick draw Iron Grip steady hand, and I try so hard to use it. I try so hard. I want to use it. I even put double hand cannon reloader on my gauntlet, and I just can't do it. I can't do it. My magazine does not increase my reload at all. If I got quick draw, Iron Grip, and maybe flared magwell, maybe then it would be usable and it would be a pretty good roll. But honestly, it's tough. It's tough to use. So feels bad. I put Iron Grip all the way down in the C tier. Reducing that reload speed so low is not where it's at. Okay. Iron Gaze is the next one up, and I put this one in the B tier. It gives massively improves weapon target acquisition at the cost of weapon range. So you get a minus 40 to range, which you think would really hurt, and it does, but 120s come with a lot of range, so it's not too bad. And then a plus 20 to aim assist, which if you're on controller, you're going to love this. This thing's going to be all kinds of sticky. It's going to be hard to miss shots with this thing. So I do think the Iron Gaze is good. I put it in the B tier category because mouse and keyboard players obviously aren't going to care for this at all. But controller players, this is easily closer to the A tier category in my opinion. Maybe even S tier. Who knows? Like, kind of depends on your playstyle, how much you like this weapon with the increased boost to aim assist. Let me know if you get a roll with Iron Gaze, if you're enjoying it on console, or if you're playing controller on PC, that is. Now, lastly, we're going to cover Masterworks. We've got range, handling, and reload. I put it in the S tier category. The reason why is because regarding which role you get, you want to sort of customize that Masterwork around it if possible. You know, if you have a quick draw snapshot roll, you don't really need handling Masterwork. I got a weapon like that the other day and it sucked. I'm like, oh, I have quick draw snapshot and a handling Masterwork. It's overkill. The handling Masterwork is just thrown out the window at that point. But if you get a quick draw snapshot roll with a range Masterwork, that's really nice, okay? Or reload Masterwork for that matter. And so those three Masterworks are all very good. They're all in the S tier category: range, handling, reload. And it goes back and forth depending upon the exact role you get. And then lastly, we have all the other Masterworks I just put in the B tier category. I think the only other Masterwork is like stability though. So let me know if there's any other Masterworks out there, but I'm 99% sure the only one is stability. And stability can be good for controller, but overall I put it in the B tier because it's not nearly as good or as helpful as the others for 120 RPMs, especially for this Iron Banner steady hand cannon. So that's a wrap for this video though. Let me know in the comment section below, what role of the steady hand cannon do you have? Post it down below so I can see your comments and see what weapons you're enjoying using, what roles you're enjoying using of this weapon. And Iron Banner's out only for this week, and then you're gonna have to wait another month to get another one. So hopefully you grind, get those tokens, turn them in, and best of luck to you out there. I give you my streamer mojo RNG, and I hope that you get that god roll you're looking for. Thank you so much for watching this video. Smash the like button if you enjoyed, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.